The purpose of my blueprint for spiritual practices is to bring it into what it was always supposed to be: the advancement, integration of ancient technology. You see, mysticism is an outdated understanding. It's outdated. It means you play with stuff and you're not really sure exactly what's going on. Well, articulating the practices into a more scientific and realized understanding with specific steps, specific processes, specific guidance can bring more consistent and thorough results. The fact of the matter is it was necessary for me to create this blueprint at this time due to the current state of awakening. This was the foundation. And now, as we all become awakened and spiritual beings as a civilization, we have a study book, a guide to full understanding, an instruction manual to awaken our ancient technology so we can stop using words like illusionary or mystical or magic. Because what this is a new understanding of neuroscience. It's integrating all of the systems of our telepathic framework. And if we understand how the system works, then we're actively engaging in creating a new understanding of reality. We understand how the system works now for 5D instead of the old paradigm of 3D. I assisted in bringing that genuine new understanding, an analytical process with data, with proof of how to properly manifest. Not ding, here's the bell, now make a wish and somebody will contact you with your darkest desires. That's the old way, that's the old paradigm. That's outdated protocol. That doesn't really work. That is how you get trapped in dark contracts. So by teaching and integrating this new aspect of self, this new version of an awakened individual, this new blueprint for evolutionary capability, we can shift in a more gradual and more sufficient sense, meaning that there won't be a lot of chaos and confusion or downfall. We can integrate and gradually rise. This means that there won't be any mass global issues. It will be a smooth, peaceful transition into new understandings and new experiences. What I've done, what I've assisted in, is the reactivation of ancient technological understanding of the human consciousness and its aspects. What I've built is a blueprint. What I've forged is a new path into an age of light. And the only times I use the words mystical or magical are the times when, in the beginning, I didn't fully understand my complete capabilities. Now that I'm fully awakened, now that I fully do, and I gave you all the blueprint, you'll have something to guide you through this process with the goal of peaceful and smooth transition. With awakened consciousness comes activated elevation of intelligence as a whole. The entire intelligence quotient scale could begin to shift its parameters to meet an updated version. When you have access to spirit the way you do, limitlessness is possible. An endless flow of creative expression can be achieved. I've shown that. I've exhibited that. So now it's time to put it on paper and give it to the world. This is the beginning phases of the advancement of the entire civilization. And everybody at the top is on board. Everybody saw it coming. They weren't quite fully ready for the time frame because it didn't happen on their time. It happened on divine timing. But it is happening, and now the world is adjusting. It's recalibrating into energetic ascent. And I'm very grateful for my position as catalyst for this growth, change, evolution, and advancement. It's put me in situations and places to work with individuals of a caliber you can't even fathom. It's made my life and my transition through this process to be exciting, noteworthy. And because every day I keep in the process, I stay consistent, I stay disciplined, I have a schedule, I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm continuing to pass on the message, my world continues to open up to further and further greatness and enlightenment. You know, I heard the Dalai Lama one time in a speech. He said, in life, you do not ever achieve true enlightenment, but many choose to walk the path. And that hit home for me. It was a couple of years ago when I was just sitting back watching in awe of the speech, and it hit home to me. I realized that he's right. But at that point, I had already had a near-death experience. I felt enlightenment. And I chose to bring it back here to the planet. And I realize not many have my gifts, my capabilities. They're specific to me. But they suit me and they suit my purpose. I walk this path maybe not as fully enlightened, but as someone who has experienced it. And I am fully awakened and ready, willing, and able to continue passing on all of the knowledge I gain that I possibly can, because I hope that it will help somebody in some way when they most need it. This blueprint was not a short-term plan. It was a long-term rollover to create a new cycle that was more beneficial to the entire human experience. I never expected it to happen overnight, and believe me, it didn't. But now that it's being integrated, used, worked with, and built on, we're seeing benefits all over the globe. So the collective mission itself has proven to be a great success and will continue to grow and move upward. Love and light.